Hi and welcome. My name is Stephanie, and this morning I have a gentle prenatal yoga flow to share with you. I am currently in my third trimester, but this class is safe for first and second trimester mamas as well. You don't need any props to do today's class, so when you're ready, grab your yoga mat and let's begin. We'll begin today in a comfortable seat. Take a moment to ground down through the sits bones, finding your center, making sure you're sitting up tall, your shoulders are drawn back and down away from the ears. On an inhale, we'll reach our arms up overhead, breathing in lots of energy. And as we exhale, let's press through the palms, press through the sits bones, grounding down into the earth. 2 more times. Inhale the arms up overhead, spreading the fingertips as you capture lots of energy. And exhale, pressing through the palms, pressing down through the earth. 1 more time. Inhale the arms up overhead, breathing in lots of energy. And this time as you exhale, bring the right palm to the earth only as we come into our side body stretch. You might smile here, relaxing the muscles of your face and jaw. We'll hold here for 1 more inhale. And as we exhale, let's come back to neutral. Again, we'll inhale, spreading our fingertips wide, reaching the arms up overhead, capturing lots of early morning energy. And as we exhale, we'll bring our left palm to the earth, finding our side body stretch on the other side. Again, you might take a moment to smile here. Send a good morning hello down to baby. Breathing into that right side body. We'll hold here for 1 more inhale. And as we exhale, we'll press back up to neutral. This time as we inhale, we'll open our arms wide like a goalpost, drawing our shoulder blades back and together. If you imagine your arms are pages of a book, as you exhale, close the book, drawing your arms in together and rounding your spine. Inhale, let's open the book wide. And as you exhale, let's close the book, finding a gentle rounding through the upper back body. 1 more time. Inhale the arms open and wide, breathing in through that chest, finding a nice heart opener this morning. And exhale the palms together, closing our books. Inhale, bring your hands back to the mat, come back to a neutral spine. We're going to find our tabletop position. So move slowly here as you come to a position with your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. We'll take 3 pelvic tilts here. So as you inhale, hold that neutral spine, press through the palms, draw your navel in towards your spine. As you exhale, tilt your pelvis down, rounding that lower back body. Inhale back to neutral. This is a very gentle movement. We're pressing through the palms. We're holding baby in towards our spine. And as we exhale, we're going to round our pelvis, tucking our tailbone like we're a dog who's tucking our tail between our legs. Inhale back to neutral last time. And as you exhale, tilt your pelvis down, round your lower back body. Good. Inhale back to neutral. This time we're going to step our right toes up to the front of our mat. So move slowly here, bringing your right foot in line with your hands. Take a moment to find a width of stance that feels good for you. You might have your feet a little bit wider, making sure there's plenty of space for baby. On an inhale, push up so that your hands are resting on your thigh. We'll hold here for an inhale. Imagine we're drawing energy up through the earth. And as we exhale, we're going to find that same pelvic tilt again. So we're going to tuck our pelvis under, tucking down our tailbone. We should feel a gentle stretch through our psoas here. If you're already feeling the stretch, you might hold in this position. Otherwise, you might slowly begin to sink your hips forward, Finding a slightly deeper stretch. This isn't a big movement. Our knee is not coming out over our toes. We're holding that pelvic tilt as we continue to breathe. Inhaling through our nose and exhaling through our nose. Should be feeling a nice stretch through your psoas, through your hip flexors. This bilateral stance is a great one to help make sure that there's plenty of space and room in the pelvis for baby to get into the right position. We'll hold here for one more inhale. And as we exhale, let's come back to neutral. You might come out of the pose a little bit. Allow your pelvis to untuck. We'll bring both hands to the mat just for a moment. As we lift that back knee, on an inhale, we're going to reach both arms up overhead, finding our crescent lunge. You can bring your hands to your hips here, or your hands to your thigh again, but we're not collapsing into that leg. Our spine is long. We're continuing to breathe in lots of energy. Again, this is a great pose to take in your third trimester as you're trying to help baby get into the right position for labor. Take a moment to check that your knee is over your ankle. Your knee is not out over your toes. Your leg is not straight here. If you need to, you can take a slightly narrower stance. We're going to hold here for 2 more breaths, inhaling deeply and exhaling completely. Last time, as you inhale, think about lifting and lengthening. And as you exhale, let's bring both hands back to the mat. Drop your back knee and come back to your tabletop position. We're going to take those same stretches on the other side. So this time, step your left toes up in line with your hands. Take a moment to find a stance width that feels right for you today. And then on an inhale, push off the earth, bringing your hands to rest gently on your left thigh. We'll hold here for a moment, inhaling to find length. And as we exhale, we're going to tuck our pelvis under, finding that posterior pelvic tilt. You should be feeling the stretch through your right psoas. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can begin to sink the hips forward a little bit. It should help you find a slightly deeper stretch. This is not a dramatic movement, but it is a great one to make sure, again, that you have enough space in your hips and your pelvis for baby to get into position. Check to make sure that your knee is not out over your toes. If you need to go deeper and that knee is coming out over the toes, then just move your feet a little bit further apart so you have more space to sink the hips forward. We'll hold here for one more inhale, continuing to think about lifting and lengthening with our spine. And as we exhale, we'll come out of the pose, allowing our pelvis to come back to a neutral tilt. Let's drop both hands to the mat just for a moment as we lift that back knee. And on an inhale, we'll press up, finding our crescent lunge. Again, you might bring your hands to rest on your hips here, or even to rest on your left thigh. If you need to adjust your stance, maybe making it a little bit wider or a little bit narrower, do that now. We're going to hold this pose for a few breaths. Inhaling through the nose, thinking about lifting and lengthening with our front body. And as we exhale, we'll imagine sending energy down to the ground through our feet, grounding into the earth. We'll hold here for one more inhale, breathing in through the nose. And as we exhale, we'll bring our hands back to the mat, dropping that back knee and coming back into our tabletop position. From here, we'll press into our downward facing dog. So curl the toes under, press through the hands as you lift the hips up to the sky. You might want to take a wider stance here, bringing your feet about as wide as your yoga mat. Your hands might also be wider than shoulder width distance apart, perhaps also as wide as your yoga mat. You might pedal at your feet here, walking your dog a little bit, breathing into the backs of your legs. If you've had a wiggly dog, take a moment to find stillness. We'll hold here for one more breath, inhaling through the nose. And as you exhale, let's sink our knees back to the mat, coming through tabletop as we come down onto our butts. Move slowly here, mamas. We'll now come into a reclined pigeon or a seated figure 4 stretch. Continue to press through the palms, finding length through the spine and length through the upper body. Let's hook our right ankle over our left knee, finding that nice stretch through the outside of our right glute and hip. If you need a little bit more space for baby, you might want to walk your left toes a little bit further out. For a deeper stretch, you might walk those left toes in a little bit closer towards your glute, but we don't want to walk them in too far. We want to make sure that baby is not compressed in any way. You can hold this pose in stillness, or you might begin to rock a little bit side to side, finding a nice massage of that right glute. Continue to press through the palms, finding length through the back body and through your chest. We'll hold here for one more inhale. And as we exhale, we'll bring our right foot back to the earth, taking that stretch over on the other side. This time, let's inhale and bring the left ankle to hook around the right knee. Again, you might walk the right toes out a little bit further to make a little bit more space for baby, or you might walk your right toes in a little bit closer towards your glute to find a deeper stretch through that left glute and your left hip. When you found a position that feels good for you, take at least one breath in stillness, inhaling deeply through the nose, and allowing yourself a long exhale through the nose. If you took that glute massage on the other side, you might begin to gently rock back and forth, using this gentle movement to find any areas of stiffness or soreness, and see if you can't give yourself a little bit of relief. We'll hold this pose for 2 more breaths, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Continue to press through your hands, making sure that your back body is not rounding. We want to make sure that there's plenty of space for baby and for our breath. On your next exhale, let's bring both feet to the mat. As we find our butterfly pose, drawing our heels in together. You might give yourself a gentle foot massage here. Continue to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, making sure that your spine is long. Let's take one final stretch together. Inhale through the nose, finding length through the back body. And as you exhale, begin to bend at the waist, going only so far until your spine begins to round or until you feel like you might begin to compress baby. Your gaze is out in front of you, down towards the earth. Again, you should be feeling a nice stretch through your hips and your inner thighs. You can experiment by moving your feet a little bit further out or a little bit further in, finding whatever position feels right for you this morning. Wherever you are, we'll hold for 2 more breaths together, inhaling through the nose. And as we exhale, we'll ground down through the earth, ground down through those sits bones. Inhale through the nose. And a long exhale through the nose. On your next inhale, push out of the pose. Return to that comfortable seat that we started class in. We'll close out together with one final round of breath. You might bring one hand to your chest, one hand to your belly. As we inhale through the nose, make it the deepest inhale yet of the day. And exhale through the mouth with a sigh. Thank you for practicing with me this morning. I hope you enjoyed this gentle 3rd trimester morning flow with me. I hope you're feeling a little bit less stiff than you were at the start of class and that you have some energy to go about your day. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more prenatal yoga content just like this. Thanks for practicing with me today. I hope to see and practice with you again soon. Bye.